everyone, it's Catherine here. Thanks for joining me on my channel today. I'm here to share with you my first layout for Confessions of a Paper Addict for 2021. So I'm using this fun 2021 balloon cut file, which was just released on the 6th of January. And I'll leave a link to the cut file in the description below. But I have taken a close to my heart gold Glimmer brush pen and just painted on some glimmer onto the white cardstock. I cut it out of American Crafts Precision cardstock. I like to use that with my cut files. And now I'm just tracing around the inner pieces on this gold mirror cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this out off camera and then stick it down, but this is a simple way to kind of it's a pretty easy element to back, and it's got these kind of pieces on the cut file that kind of look like like where the light would hit the balloon. So I'm just adding some vellum to the back of that, and I'll cut that out afterwards. But yeah, I'm just sticking this all down, getting my cut file prepared. And while I'm doing that, I should let you know that there is a couple of free cut files in the Confessions of a Paper Addict Facebook group. So you should go ahead and check that group out. I'll leave a link in the description below for you to see. But this cut file and this page is going to be the cover page of my album for 2021. So when I first saw this cut file, I had this great idea to create this page. It doesn't turn out exactly how I'd hoped, but look, I'm really happy with it. My family was a bit apprehensive in taking this photo, so it took me a lot to convince them to take these photos. But in the end, they had some fun, taking the photos like they were holding the balloon. So I just wanted to leave this part of the process in just to show you how I add these pieces back onto the cut file. So I'm using that inner piece and then being able to place those kind of areas where it looks like this the light would hit the shiny balloon, just so you can place them down back in the right position. And I like to do this with files that have intricate pieces or these types of things where you want to get that position into a good position. So I'm just going to stick that down on the cut file, and I'm liking how this balloon is looking. And I did go ahead and cut the separate little pieces out for the sort of balloon ends. And I am cutting these strings off because my plan is, and you'll see in a moment when I show you the photo, but my plan is to use some, some string or some twine or something as the ends of that. And again, I use the inner piece to place this this centerpiece down, and I'm just going ahead and cutting it out using my X-Acto knife and then my scissors just to trim around the edge so that the hole is in the zero there. And I'm using an old collection by Kaiserecrafts. It's called Party Time. And yeah, it's just got some fun elements. I don't have a lot of this collection left, but as you can see from the photo, I'm actually cutting around the edge of the photo. And this isn't something I do very often, but when I saw that this was the balloon, I'd seen other people do this before, and I really wanted to, create a balloon looking 2021. And as you can see in the photo, myself, my partner Ray, and my son Sebastian are all looking up and looking like we're holding a string of the balloon. And this is to kick off 2021. And it was just a fun little, photo shoot we did just at home at the back of our house. And yeah, I think it looks good in the end. So you'll see me struggle with this a little bit because I'm trying to wrap this cord around the ends of the balloon. And I don't show you all of this because this is what took me the longest of the whole creation. This twine is kind of a metallic twine, so it's really hard to work with. And as you can see, I just found this sticker. It says always believe something wonderful is about to happen, and I thought that was really appropriate moving into 2021 after the year 2020 was. So I've stuck that down the bottom, and now I'm going to go ahead and actually trim that back to 12 by 12 because that section at the bottom was actually the branding strip. So I'm just trimming that down. And I didn't mind the word hooray there, but I do cover it up later. Now I'm just trying to work out how these strings will work, and honestly the strings took me the longest, and I did have to cut a fair bit of this process out because because of the metallic thread, it was really hard to work with. I think in the future, if I did this again, I'd probably just use some sort of twine that's easier to work with and not this metallic one. But as you can see, I'm contemplating kind of tying a knot, in the twine there to try and get it to sit in the right place. And those balloons on the backing paper, they actually have sort of a knot to keep them all together. And then I decided that I would actually cover up this hooray. Not that it wasn't, it could have worked, but I just decided that I'd cover it up. I had a scrap piece of paper, and I used these frames just to kind of, provide some background for that photo to sit on. And I think that's the thing with cutting the photo out like this. I felt like with the sticker at the bottom and then that other blue piece there that I'm about to stick down, I felt like that was, it needed to be there. I guess it's kind of a grounding or something for us to be standing on. So I'm using some adhesive here to stick that all down, and I'm using a mix of double-sided tape and that tape runner. Yeah, and I liked just the way those frames looked. And now I'm going to go ahead, I'm trying to work out how to get these strings to kind of work. And like I said, it took me a lot of fussing around. That was the majority of the time I spent on this layout. I have obviously sped this video up and I've cut a little bit out, but the strings were what took the most amount of time. So I used this bunting off the sticker sheet. So this collection comes with a 12 by 12 sticker sheet as well. So I'm using that bunting there, and I'm just going to trim that off. And then I've just pulled out a few pieces of ephemera because I actually didn't have too much left from this collection. So that I like that up the top there, that Let's Dance sentiment. So I'm going to put that up there. And I found another banner piece, and I thought that worked well because I wanted to kind of create, I guess, a diagonal from that top right-hand corner, and the balloons were already in the background on the bottom left. So I'm just going to stick everything down. I don't embellish this page too much. It's pretty minimal, even for me. But I just really wanted that 2021, being gold and really standing out. I wanted that to sort of be the main element on this page, because that's what you're going to see when you first open my album. So I'm just sticking those down. I'm not thinking about it too much. I'm kind of just sticking things down as I'm pulling them out almost. And now I'm just trying to work out how to, get these strings down. So I've put double-sided adhesive, and then I'm using some wet glue just for the base of those balloons there. And I'm going to stick that down, because this paper from Kaiserecrafts is quite thin, so usually I would use a wet adhesive, but because the paper is so thin, I didn't want the paper to warp, so I have actually used that double-sided tape. And then I realized that first string on the first two is actually too short, so I do go ahead off camera and kind of cut it down and put it, put a longer piece on there. But I'm just going to pop my photo up on some foam tape, and again, still trying to fuss around with these strings. It was honestly really quite difficult. So, take my learnings and maybe use some, real cotton sort of twine and not anything metallic, because it is quite difficult to work with when you're trying to do something like this. But yeah, I realized that, with this photo, the three of us kind of had our hands in different places, which made it really hard to kind of align the strings. I think I got there in the end, and I'm quite happy with how I how it went and how it came together. But I have actually finished the layout. So I just put that document banner down the bottom there, and I will probably add some journaling. And I'm just using some Jen Hadfield gold glitter spray just to sprinkle on some pieces there around the layout, just to add a bit more bling and a bit more gold. And then I am going to go ahead and add some enamel dots. But I really encourage you to go check out the Facebook group and head over to Confessions of a Paper Addict Etsy store, because there's so many cut files there to check out to get your scrapping done. But I'd just like to thank you for joining me on my channel today, and hope that you like this video. If you do, give it a like and a thumbs up. Thanks everyone. Bye.